Hello everybody and welcome back to Candy Shop Simulator. So I have $17,396 for today's video, so I've saved up so we can do our expansion. But before we get to that, we actually have a new update to have a look at. So there have been quite a few things added in this patch, so some optimization stuff that we won't really need to go into. The improved third-person camera, we now stand slightly to one side, so you're not constantly blocking yourself if you played in third person. Personally, I haven't played in third person, so I don't know if that was much of an issue, to be honest, but if it was, it has now been fixed. We also have a crosshair. You'll see that little dot in the middle of the screen. We now can see what we're looking at. Again, I didn't really struggle too much with that, but it is always nice in first-person games to know exactly where you're actually pointing. So, yeah, we've got a little crosshair for that. The serving plate has had a bug fix to it. Again, I'm not really sure I had an issue with that personally, but hey, it's been fixed. But there are some new things that are being added as well. So we have the duplicator. So I'll show you this. This is in the build mode. So this is some stuff we can buy. We've got some new stuff for our kitchen. So we have the duplicator, which will duplicate anything you put inside of it. So if you make a cake, you can put it in the duplicator and it will duplicate the cake you've just made. So obviously now you have two of them. Now, there are some pullbacks to that. It does cost money to do that. Not only does it cost the $3,000 to buy the duplicator, it does cost money to use it as well. I did a small test of it, just checking this update out. I did a small test of it. It's kind of worth it, kind of not. It depends really what you value. If you value going after profit, it will take quite a bit of your profit away. If you just value like stacking the shelves up and making sure you've got plenty of cakes on there, then it's a very fast way of doing that. It's instantaneous. So it's good for that, but it does cost a lot of money. So I made a basic sponge cake, just with a sponge and one layer of icing, just the most basic thing. And that costs, I think it was about $31.50 or something around there. It's about $30. It cost $130 to put it in the duplicator. So you can see how much it costs you an extra $100 to put it in the duplicator rather than just making it again. So it's worth it if you suddenly need to put a lot of cakes on sale, like if you've not got any. But really, it's probably worth taking the extra time and just baking yourself. We also have, for $2,500, the advanced mixer, which is pretty good, I guess. But again, $2,500. If you're late in the game, get it. But if you're at the beginning of the game, not worth it. All it really does is save you having to go to the pantry. So at the moment in the game, if you've been watching this series or played it yourself, you'll know what you have to do is you go and get your ingredients from the pantry, you take them over to the station over here, and then you make your cake. Well, with this, you no longer need to go to the pantry. I think that's all it does. It just... You press the recipe and it brings the ingredients from the pantry and puts them in for you. So it saves, for me, it would save the walk from here to here. For $2,500, is that worth it at the beginning of the game? No. Late in the game when you've got plenty of money, probably. Yeah, it saves a bit of time. It makes it simpler, basically. It's kind of like an end game upgrade, isn't it, really? Obviously, if you're making lots and lots of cakes, because you do get quite busy. I mean, I'm up to level... What level are we now? We're up to level 29. I do get quite busy in here, actually. I do need a second cake casing, actually, because we sell out of cake quite quickly. So, could be worth it for that. If I'm really wanting to get quite a few out pretty rapidly, maybe it's worth it for that. But otherwise, I would wait till later in the game for that. The product prices have completely changed on your own products. The in-store products that we buy in from the supplier, they are all, I believe, the same. I don't think they have changed at all. So they're all the same. But our own have changed. I'll show you those in a second. You might see like there's a little number now above as well. It says 9 out of 12. So that just tells you what's on the shelf. Which I didn't really find on the products themselves. You can kind of see how many... I mean, we now know how many go on a shelf, which is handy. But yeah, you can kind of see that anyway. But it tells you exactly what stock is on the shelf at any one time, which is useful. But it's more useful over here because it tells me how much I have. So I just put a random cake on here. You get 7 slices out of a... I'm guessing this means you get 7 out of a tort as well. Not just, I just chucked on a random cake here. You get 7 slices out of that. and you get now 10 out of these. Now, this was 12. It never used to tell you, but I did read somewhere that they had told somebody who had asked them. The developer had said it is 12, but now it is 10. So you get 10 slices of each cake. Now, you will see all of my cakes currently are set at 0. That is because with this update, it seems that any existing cakes you have don't get calculated in the new way and will sell for 0. So we don't make any money on these. So what I did think of doing, well, I'll just open for a bit, clear them through. You know, maybe we'll get some store rep at least, even if I'm selling them for nothing. But actually, when they go over there and they pay for it, the game doesn't register that they're actually buying anything because there's no money involved, and then you can't go any further. So you're better off just disposing of these. So unfortunately, we've got to dispose of all of these cakes, which is a bit annoying, to be honest. Yeah, that's just cost me. I mean, it doesn't cost you lots of money to make cakes, but it's kind of annoying that I've now got to redo all of those cakes later on. And we're going to have a bit of a designing and building kind of episode, so it's not really going to probably come to bite us in this episode, but yeah, I've now got to make all of those cakes again. So that's quite annoying. The lollipops seem fine because they have gone to $8.85. They've gone up in value. So the pricing change is the more you put into a cake, the more value it has. So, you know, like these cakes used to sell for, I think it was $132 I was selling them for, or something like that per slice. Well, now, if you just do a basic sponge and one layer of icing, it sells for about $21.50 or something like that. So quite a significant drop. But if you were to do a double layered cake or put a bit of fruit on the top or really go to town, that value does increase. For example, I did a double layer with a cream filling and icing on top compared to just a single layer and icing on top. And it went from $21.50 to $53.50 or something like that per slice. Obviously, it costs a reasonable amount to make your cake. So I calculated this as well. So like I said, to make a basic cake, it's $31.50. So if you're selling that for 20 odd per slice, you're still making decent profit, but it is nothing like it was before this update. So I think on balance, it's a good update because it saves you making, I think I was able to make about $1.5 grand per cake before. Whereas now I'm making considerably less than that. I'm just making a few $100s, which is, I suppose, a bit more realistic, isn't it? I haven't done a torte cake yet. I don't know how much they sell for, but because you can really decorate them up, I'm guessing you can sell those for quite a bit. So that's probably where the money is now in the game. I have tested the online orders as well. They seem more worth it now. So there was an order came in for a jelly, just a simple jelly with a few bits of fruit on top. And the person was willing to give me $594 for that. I put it in here to see what it would sell for, and it would have sold for $13 a slice. So I'd have only got $130 out of that, whereas I'd have got $600 by doing the order. So it feels like the online orders are now more worth it, whereas in my previous video, they really weren't, because we were getting $132 a slice of cake, and they were only offering me like $400. So it really wasn't worth doing them. Now I think it is worth doing the online orders. So the online orders work much better. Now this has been addressed, and these sell for less money. As for anything else, I think that's more or less it, aside from in the baking side of things. This now self-stirs. You don't need to stir this, or mix it, I should say, around with your mouse. You can just click it, and it will mix it for you. You don't need to use the mouse for that. And things only take 5 seconds to cook and 5 seconds to cool now, instead of, I think it was 15 or so before. So they've taken that time down by quite a bit. So that makes the process a lot quicker and much better. So I think that is all of the updates to speak about. Yes, it is. That's all the updates, I believe. We may come across some others. They've also changed the layout of this a little bit. The upgrades is now in here. The photos now do work. They've been moved to here. You can now take photos and save them. But more or less, this is all the same as before. Off camera, I did try a shop advertisement as I was trying to build money. So I purchased the 2000 newspaper ad. I have to be honest, I don't know if it really did anything other than take $2,000 away from me. I didn't really notice anybody extra in store. It was as busy as normal. So I don't know if I'm now too busy to really notice that, or I don't know, or if it just doesn't work. I couldn't really tell you. but it didn't really do that much for me. But what it did show me, though, just doing these days off camera, is we desperately need a second checkout, because one is not enough. Even if I'm serving on there, I can only just keep on top of it before like the last person in the queue walks away, because they time out. So we definitely need a second one of those. All right, let's take my guy outside, because this is going to be annoying otherwise. Okay, so with our building, we're going to go 8 squares over. I was going to go 10, but I can't quite afford 10. If we go 10, we might not be able to get shelving and bits and pieces inside, and I really want to get the things inside as much as I can. So we're going to go 8, save a little bit of money on the build, try and squeeze in what we can. If we need to do a further 2 square expansion at another time, we can when we've saved up a bit more money. It's no real hardship, but we'll do 8 for now. Because that'll save us some money. This has also changed. This used to be, I think it was just a picture of a bin before. It is now a bulldozer. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There we go. So yeah, we're just going to go out to there. I think that should be enough. I mean, it's a reasonable size, isn't it? It's not like it's super small or anything like that. It should be enough. There aren't that many products left in the game, to be honest. Got one more to do there, one more. We've only got 2 more unlocks for products. So there's not that much stuff to fit down here. It's mostly the second checkout that I'm desperately in need for, and the ice cream booth. That's the main thing of this, and then just moving all of our existing shelving is going to go in here, and all of this area is going to be left for the bakery. So this is going to be bakery side, this is going to be pre-bought products. Let's take that wall down while we're in this mode. There we go. And then we'll put in the rest of the stuff. So let's put in a floor to start with. So this side of it's not that bad, is it? The roof and the floor, well, we spent like $1,000 or so. It's not that bad. It's the roofing where it gets really expensive. So the flooring, the walls, not a problem. The roofing, very expensive. Now, it doesn't have to be, because I like to use the expensive one, just because it matches into what we already had. You could get this one for 15, and it would save an awful lot of money. But I'm going to go with the same one. It's in keeping. It just is very expensive. So this is where all my money is going to go. But it does look a little bit better, I think. Not that, to be honest with you, not that you spend that long looking at the roof anyway. But we'll do it. All right, let's delete this bit of the roof before we go any further, so I don't end up deleting the wrong spot. This is where it gets a little bit difficult sometimes, because you've got to make sure you're on the right thing. So it's worth taking your time. See right there? I thought I was on this one. That wasn't too bad. At least it was all the right ones that went. Like in the past, when I first tried doing that, I was deleting stuff all over the place. So that wasn't that bad. Right, that can go up to there. That can go up to there. And then we can just fill it in. So our money is sinking now. We're down to 12,000, down to 10,000, down to 9,000, down to 7,000, down to $5,856. It's the roof that drains it. I think that roof's too expensive, to be honest. I say you don't have to use it. It is a premium option, but it does look better because it kind of fits on the same level, whereas the other one doesn't. But that is the roof. So we've got our extension done. Like I say, it's quite a big space. I think possibly in an episode or two's time, we may need to just do this little bit here, which is really not that much, but that would just give us possibly an extra 1 or 2 shelves. I've only actually estimated this, so we're going to see how good my estimations are. Right, inside then, what do we need to do? Obviously, we need to put some paint and stuff on, but we'll do that later. Let's move these shelves just out of the way. Because unfortunately, that thing where... I mean, I'm glad my character is outside, because the thing where you like hold something and then it will go red because there's a lot of other stuff around is still quite a big problem, actually. So you move everything out of the way. In fact, I'm going to move this lamp out of the way as well. I know that's going to be annoying. Move everything out of the way before placing anything. Right, I think with this here, I think this is just a counter. And I think it is... probably this one. Yeah, it's that one. So we'll carry on with the same theme since we've already got that anyway. So we'll have that there, and another one there. Then we need to put a cash register on it. Like so. So we've got our cash register. We can also put some extra decoration on the edge there another time. Now, color-wise, unfortunately, with the update, there's still no way of, like, just clicking this and then using this color. That's really annoying, but there isn't. At least I've not found a way of doing it. If there is a way of doing that... Actually, let me just check. They have... I don't think there is. They have actually expanded the help menu now, so a lot of people were getting stuck. So the tutorial kind of shows you a few basics and then just drops you off and says go, what it used to. And didn't really fill people in, and there's been a lot of complaints that people just didn't know what to do. They couldn't figure out the game. So they have changed the help now, and they've put a lot more stuff in here. I don't know how helpful this is really going to be, because obviously I know the game now. But they haven't put anything in here about building at all, really. This is all... Yeah, that's all just in-store stuff. So, yeah, I don't think, then, there is a way of matching colours yet, which is a real shame. Because there is no chance in a video that I'm going to nail that colour. We'll try, just for science. But the chances of me getting the right shade... Like that. Ooh, it's close. It needs a bit lighter, doesn't it? But the chances of me getting the same shade of blue here... It's going to take me all episode, isn't it? That's pretty close. It's not quite. You can see it, can't you? It's not quite, but it's not... It's not a million miles away, but it's not quite. But as you can see, that would take quite a while, so I'm not even going to bother doing that because we'd have to do it everywhere. It's the same when eventually I'm going to probably paint the walls. They're going to be a completely new colour. But that's fine, because it means we can paint our own colour. And actually, what I quite fancy for this is actually white. A white top on that with a darker bottom. So maybe even black. There you go. I think that looks a little bit more professional, a bit cleaner looking. That's not bad. I like that. So we'll have that. I need my ice cream booth, which I think is in here. This is another $1,000 purchase. I'm just going to have that there up against the checkouts. So your checkout workers also operate the ice cream. And now I don't know if they leave their post to go and do it, or they just head straight to it. I'm not 100% sure. I think they get up and leave their post. So if somebody said, oh, I need ice cream, and they're not serving anybody, they'll make their way over, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm going to do ice cream anyway as we get started, just to experience it and play it. But I think eventually we're going to end up with probably somebody hired just to do ice cream. So then we'll have another person on the second checkout. So we're going to have 3 cashiers on the go just here. But I think if you only had 1 or 2, they would operate the ice cream as well for you, if they can get away from the checkout, which unfortunately for me at the moment, there's just no chance of that. So I'm hoping a second checkout will alleviate that problem a little bit, and then we'll see if we need to hire somebody for the ice cream afterwards. All right, so let's get some shelving in, shall we? No, I haven't put any windows in yet. Let's see. How do we think we're going to go with these windows? I think if we utilize here, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we could leave a gap, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So we could have a window in the middle there, just to let some light in. So I might do that. I think I'm going to bring the snacks over here. Let's move the gift items. Let's put those over here. Let's put the snacks. As the first thing is it's not against the wall, is it? I don't think. There we go. First thing you sort of encounter as you come into the shop is the snacks. We'll do that, and then we'll grab that. Put it there. So then we'll have a window just here. Like so. And then we'll have something else the other side. Actually, no. Window's just here. Hang on. Cancel. At least you can just move windows around. Right, put that there. So we need another shelf just here, and then we've got a shelf of 4 there. So what could we put with the snacks? Do we have another snacky thing? That is all of the snacks. So that is all of the snacks available of that variety sort of thing. That's all of those that we have anyway. I guess I could put these. These are waffle cones and stuff like that. So I was going to put those, though, with the ice cream stuff. So we've got let's call it a product license called Warm Ice Cream. It's basically cones and all that kind of stuff. But these are all like waffles, so they would kind of go with that section, I would say. I've almost got nothing to put in just here. Really? But for now, we'll just put that there, because I've not got the other thing anyway. So we'll just do that for now. Over the other side, I think I'll put the cookies. So we've got cookies. Something like that. We might switch all this around. Who knows? Then I need 2 more shelves. So we'll put 1 in like so. And I might leave the corner. I know we need 1 in there, but I might leave it for cost reasons. And maybe put it in. Or should we just... No, let's just do it. Let's just put it in. We won't have much money left at the end, but at least it's all done then, isn't it? Over this side, now I was thinking maybe something like that with a couple of shelves, but then I can't get in, can I? If I put these over here, if it'll let me. Yeah, I can't get in there, so you'd have to walk around the back every time to come to the ice cream, which is fine. If they're running it, they're just pretty much going to walk up and down there anyway. But I'm not sure if I can even walk past them when they're working, so we'll keep everything on the back wall and leave that open so I can get round. I think that makes the most sense. So here, we've put a window here, I think. And then maybe a window, since this is not going to be filled with anything, we'll put a window just here as well. That'll probably get taken out at some point when I'm going to expand all of this. So I'm going to bring this foundation level, which is... We're not going to do that now because it's so expensive. What is this? It's only 40, but it would add up, obviously. I'm going to bring this all the way down to the edge here. So we're going to have quite a long, thin... I could expand... Actually, I could go a bit wider, perhaps. I might have to purchase this to do that, though. But we could go a bit wider if we can. But I'm going to bring it all the way down here, and then we'll fill it with some more tables and chairs, because we may need them. Now we're getting ice cream. A lot more people go outside to eat that, I think. So if that's the case, we might need to expand this, but I'm not going to do that now because we're going to run out of money. So that'll have to be a future project. So let's put our gift items just there. Now I've got... What have I got? I've got two empty shelves. 2 empty shelves. Now I've got ice cream cones and I've got chocolates, I think, coming. So we might not need another shelf. But if we do, I can put it here. So I can expand and I can get 2 more shelves in there. So we've got room for 2 more shelves, actually. So that's not bad. I think I might leave it at that then. So we've got room for 2 more, which we can buy when we need them. Because I'm not 100% sure I'm going to need them. And then we'll figure out how to put ice cream cones with the right stuff. It could just be that I move ice cream cones over here, put the ice cream thing here, and chocolates could go here, because I don't know what chocolates they are. I'm guessing they're like gift chocolates. Now, we haven't actually got all of the gift... no, I haven't got all of these on here. There is another chocolatey item as well. Alongside these chocolate teddy bears, and there's a chocolate duck that I don't sell. So I might put another shelf in here anyway. Because we don't sell all of those, but we nearly do. We sell all the cookies, I think. Yeah, we do. We sell all the cookies, we sell all the snacks, and we sell all the waffles. There's a couple of items that I couldn't get of these on, but now we will. So we'll have it like that. In fact, actually, should we just put that in there just to make sure? Let's do it. It only leaves us with $610, but I'm pretty much done now, I think, for the expansion. I need to buy some ice cream, but aside from that, I think we're pretty much done. So let's put in some color scheme then. In here. I'm going to keep the same floor. real shame you can't drag this. So when you're putting floor... That's annoying. When you're putting floor down, like the actual flooring, you can drag your cursor over and do as much as you want at once. But when you're painting, you can only do it one square at a time. And then you end up grabbing things you don't want to grab. Quite annoying, but we are done. Right, that's the floor done. Colour-wise, now we've only got white in here. We've not really got a colour scheme going on here, have we? There's a bit of pink just here for some reason, and a pink banister area just here. So we've only got like a tiny bit of pink in here. It's mostly white. I'm tempted to experiment with some different colour. I think I need to put an actual bit of wall on first, though. In order to paint over it. Okay, so that's done. Now, do we keep the white or do we want to go for a different colour scheme here? If I just put that on, because I need to do the ceiling as well. What colour should we... I tell you what, that yellow's not bad, to be honest. The yellow's not bad. It's not as bright as it is over here. We've not got any lights down there either. We've put some lights in. Let's experiment with a few colours, shall we? Click on the wall. We could go with like a bluey grey colour. That's quite nice. Of course, we don't have to have the same colour everywhere. We could have a different colour down here to up here. So in the bakery could be all bright and, you know, all that white colour could stay because that's the bakery. So it's all going to be bright down there. And we could have this darker section for our products. I might do that, to be honest. So we'll do that up to there. I think that looks quite nice, actually. Now, I might keep going with the same ceiling. I don't know. So this, I have to colour this in individual squares. This isn't like a pre-bought thing. So they'd already done this in the game when they first give you the initial bit of building. So I've carried it on. But it is a pain to do. So I might end up changing the ceiling. I quite like that down there. So we'll go with that. Ceiling-wise, what do I do for ceiling? I think the ceiling tile is the floor tile, just when you click it up there. Yeah, it is. So you can have any of these as your ceiling. If you so wished. You could have absolutely any of them. Oh, I say that, actually. They don't... Oh, no, they are working. How do we carry on with this? It's got quite a shop feel, to be fair. Okay, that's the ceiling in. So now it's a case of, do I want to do the paint? Now, again, I'm going to have to try and colour match it. And it's not remembered. I did manage to almost do it when we did our first expansion. We've been watching the series since the beginning. This is all new. And I kind of matched it up enough that it's not really noticeable if it was different at all. I think it's a shade different, but it wasn't that much different. And you hardly ever notice anyway, because you walk around, you never look at the ceiling. So we either try and carry that on, or go completely different. Now, I could go completely different, couldn't we? We could start colouring these things on that one, as we've done the walls. So difficult to... You can't even look up properly in this. I don't know what... I like the fact that the customization is here, but I don't know if it works that well. It's a bit too finicky for my liking. That would make it a bit dark then, I think, if we had the same colour. Add a whiter colour, perhaps. Actually, I think that might be... What does that look like? Is that just white as well? I think these are just white as well, aren't they? Yeah. Okay, so we've got white ones down there. Can we just try white? Since you never look at it anyway. Or is that going to look odd? I'm not sure, you know. I'm not sure of that one. If I just did white down here, it's going to, A, look a bit odd because we've got a design up here that it's not carried all the way down there. Actually, it doesn't look that bad. I don't know if it looks a bit too bright, though. I think I'd want a warmer colour than that, to be honest. I think that yellow, not that one, but like a yellow might work better. To be honest, I'm quite tempted to stay with the original thing it comes with. It's quite annoying, so that means I've got to redo all of them, but does that look better against the darker colour? I think it does. That's got that warm feel that I'm kind of after for this section of the shop. I think I'm just going to place all of these back. Like so. And then leave it. So we'll come as... let's put them in... Where's halfway? Are we calling halfway the stairs? I think we are, aren't we? It's so annoying. You can't take the roof off because then you can't see it. But because the roof's there and all the walls and everything, you can't really get in. I'd rather be able to, like, colour this in from up here. Like, if I click off roof, somehow be able to colour this in from up here instead. Because this is so finicky. It puts you off wanting to do it. Like, if they made it really simple... I think it would be a more joyous task. Right. So I've come outside now. It's ridiculous. Right. So we've got this area up here. Obviously, it needs some lights. And then we'll keep that sort of like bakery style down here. I might just paint all of this white down here. Paint the walls. Get rid of the pink. I know we've had the pink since the beginning. Can I not colour that? Oh, right. That's a furniture, isn't it? Hang on a second. There we go. Colour in the furniture, and that's a wall down there. Can I colour the stairs as well? Apparently not. It's weird. I can't paint the... You can paint almost anything else in this game. Can't paint those stairs for some reason. There's a bit of pink just there as well. Get rid of that. Right, so we've got our white over here for the bakery, and then we've got our... shop over there. So I might change. Do we change these ceiling tiles? The white and pink doesn't really go anymore, does it? I might just keep them uniform throughout the entire store. It's possible if I can think of a colour that will go with it, we could keep the check design. If I find a colour that works well. I think we'll just go for that. I think that looks nicer. Now, it just keeps it more uniform, but we will have it white down here and nice and bright for this. To be honest, I think I put way too much effort into that roof, didn't I? It's not even something, because whenever we're in top-down view, it's like this. And whenever I'm in store, I guess you kind of catch it in your vision occasionally, but most of the time we're looking down at cakes and stuff or in here. So it's not that bad, but I quite like that. So that's the new section completed. You see a lot of footprints. That's I decided not to have the cleaner in for a day, just while I was earning money. Obviously, I'm going to earn more money if I'm not paying for a cleaner. And because they didn't mind it being dirty in here, that's kind of as it got at the end of the day. So I'll call the cleaner in to clean, or I'll do it or something. So we just need to put some lights in, and then I think we're basically done for today. So it has been just a building and design episode. I've not got enough money, I don't think. Maybe just well, maybe I have. Maybe I've got just enough money that I could put in a another one of our cake stands or something over there, but let's put some lights in first. Which, fortunately, I think I can do from up here. Lights. Right, what lights have we got? I might get rid of these. So I put that one in myself. I think I prefer that. I think that's more fitting, I think, for the design. I've got 300 per lamp, did that say? Okay, so we've not got any money left to do anything, really, have we? We'll put that in there. Put that in here. And then we've got no money left. That's all. I'd like to get rid of those other two as well, so we'll save them for now, because if I get rid of them, I won't get enough money back. We'll save them for now. But I'll get rid of these two as well and replace them with the same ones. I do have a lamp outside still, don't we? Where can this go? Really, left a space for it. It could go there, but it's a bit odd looking. I might just leave that in the corner there for now. And we'll figure out. We can maybe sell it. All right, I think that will do us today. So we've done our new section. So we've now got a second checkout. We're going to start doing ice creams next time. I'll probably, depending how much money we make, I'll also get some more stuff on the shelves. Because we only have to get, upgrade-wise, the warm ice cream for $2,000 and the chocolates. And that is it. So once we've got those two, I'll probably head up and get ice cream manually to start with rather than pay for the 2,000. Once we've done that, we'll be almost finished. I'd say we've got about 2, maybe 3 episodes left. And then we're probably going to be finished with this one. I don't think it's a long series, this one. But that'll do today's video. So if you have enjoyed... Hang on a second. Before we end... We haven't done the outside brickwork. Let's not leave it part finished. Let's... hang on a second. I've grabbed... Nope, I don't want that. It's so easy to do that. When you're in paint mode, everything else should just lock. You shouldn't be able to pick on anything. Just. I've done it again. I've done it again. I don't want to do this. And the only way to seemingly get out of that is to press escape and come out the menu. I've done it again. If I'm colouring something in, I do not want the ability to do that. Why do I need that if I'm decorating? There we go. I have contemplated changing this and changing the outside. I've contemplated maybe putting in... You know what? I won't show you. I have contemplated putting in the other bricks and maybe changing it up. But I don't know. The red brick is kind of growing on me. We just need a bit of decoration outside, I think. But the red brick's kind of growing on me, so... I think I'll leave it as red brick, to be honest. Rather than do anything with that. Because it's grown on me to the point where the others I don't think quite look as good. Anyway, we will leave it there. So if you have enjoyed this video, make sure you leave it a like. Consider joining and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you for another video very soon.